المراكز الحضرية والمناطق الريفية. بتضمن شراكتك مع آي راديو الرؤية عبر منطقة جغرافية واسعة.
ما تفوت فرصة توسيع نطاق رسالتك باستخدام آي راديو. شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
Your voice matters more than you know. Every time you call iRadio, every time you share your perspective, every time you give your opinion on air, you are practicing freedom of speech. You are protecting media freedom. You are keeping independent radio alive. You are actively participating in the governance process. Many may not realize it, but those calls, comments, and conversations are not just talk. They are acts of public participation, the heartbeat of a free and open society. By speaking up, you help hold leaders accountable, raise community issues, and shape national conversations. Without your voice, the microphone goes silent. Keep calling, keep talking, because when the people speak, democracy breathes.
The Dawn on iRadio.
Right, a very good morning to you and welcome to the second hour of the Dawn program here on iRadio, a live broadcast from the capital, Juba. I'm your host, Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and it's Wednesday, the 11th of June, 2025, 14 minutes now after the hour of 7. خلينا نرفع بعض من المكالمات قبل ما نمشي للفقرة الثانية، وده في كيفية البلاد الاستفادة من الموارد الطبيعية وخاصة التعدين، وبالأخص موضوع بتاع دحب في جنوب السودان. في الساعة الأولى سمعنا من السلطات إنه بينادوا من أجل وضاحات أو القوات النظامية الأمن إنه هم يواصلوا بشغل بتاعهم في منع أو قبض الناس اللي هم بيهربوا الذهب عبر مطار جوبا الدولي. And again, remember in March 2024, the Minister of Investment said some state governments are dealing with unregistered foreign companies in mining sector without remitting the revenue to the national government. Dr. Dio Matog also said there is no single foreign mining company registered with the national government. He added that some companies export crude gold to the neighboring countries without permission from the national government. However, Eastern Equatoria State Governor Luis Lobong Lojore dismissed allegations of large-scale minerals mining in parts of the state. That was during a speech at the 7th Governors Forum in December 2023. Lobong also said there are no such mining activities in the state except for artisanal activities that he said are common in the area. Now, according to him, there was only one licensed company carrying out small-scale mining at Ngauro. But then it was previously shut down twice due to lack of transparency. Now, responding to Lobong's remarks in the same event, First Vice President Dr. Riek Machar said mining is not only taking place in Eastern Equatoria State, but in other states as well. He also disclosed that there are 93 licenses have actually been issued to exploration companies and 19 small-scale companies. Again, in November same year, the European Union envoy to South Sudan raised concerns about the absence of gold revenue in South Sudan's national budget, despite reports suggesting the country may be producing 30 to 40 tons of gold annually. Now, speaking at the opening of the National Constitutional Review Commission workshop on fiscal federalism in Juba, Ambassador Tim Olkonen emphasized the need for greater transparency in government financing. Members of the National Constitution Review Commission also raised similar concerns. So Ambassador Olkonen emphasized the interim constitution of South Sudan stipulates that ownership of petroleum and gas and natural resources belong to the people of South Sudan. He also pointed out that these resources are to be developed and managed by the national government on behalf of the citizens, ensuring that the benefits reach the people. موضوع بتاع الاستفادة كيفية الاستفادة من الموارد الطبيعية خاصة الذهب في جنوب السودان للشعب. راديو.
Emmanuel Joseph Akile, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, this is me, Joseph.
Joseph from Muniki, welcome.
My brother, I appreciate you and the iRadio as the institution that is always updating us in a daily basis issues in South Sudan. This issue of gold and the National Ministry of Mining, gold is part of the resources of the South Sudan country. When we get to independence in 2011, we got ourselves divided into classes of BIPs and classes of BIPs families. And people who are always using the resources as their own, as the families concerned, which is the BIPs, to start from the top authority. You go to the where there is a mining, like a gold mining. You get somebody is related with the families of those people. We start from that Eastern Equatoria. If you go to the grassroots there, getting people who are doing that gold mining are related with the first family, and later on, governor of the state to be dependent on what is going in the ground. And people are denying national resources to be channeled for the National Ministry of Finance to the Central Bank. National Ministry, what is the work of the National Ministry of Mining? It is resources to be produced through, if South Sudanese are able to produce their resources alone, they have to go and make it. As a national resources, you have to work and you have to be paid as a worker there. And now there is a people who brought in foreign companies working there as their beneficiaries. And there is a people who used to open your company and to work there as an individual company. What is that? Now there is a oil resources, which is the country, and it's serving the country all. And that goal is not for the country, and there is a people using the revenues as their own. Why you divided country into classes? You must unify the country, and you must unify the resources. And the resources must be used for the benefit of this nation. When the people go for the bush to fight for this country, there were the families of the past family, they were there. There were BIP families, not. But what is happened now, it is because of the heart of corruption. People enter the corruption, and they don't want to correct themselves. Why no are not prevailed? Complaint from the Ministry of Mining, it is wrong for them to complain it. If they know this, they have to close down any company working in the mining sector, because it's not their right to work there without a national ministry procedures.
Right.
Procedures. We want our resources to be challenged as a national resources, not for the individuals, not for the people who is holding power today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Modu, with resources. iRadio.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Yes, good morning.
She's behind you.
Welcome.
Yeah. Emmanuel, I think the country will never utilize its potential resources being actually used for country development, unless otherwise there are these categories, three groups of people, if they are not active enough to fight the regime and also fight corruption. One category of the people is citizens. If this country if the country did not got a good citizen that have a voice to talk and challenge the government, then there will be no solution. Corruption will not stop. Another category is civil society. If the country did not have a civil society, if there is no credible civil society that are headed by civil society activists who can able to open the court case and challenge the government and stand on this feet, ready to die for the country, the nation will never fight corruption. The third category is judiciary. If judiciary have not stopped from being a biased judiciary, who is actually instincted and cling on the executive, then the citizen will not get a way to fight the corrupt regime, because citizens are able to fight corrupt regime when the judiciary is independent judiciary, such that a normal American citizen with a white citizen who knows about the country law would go and open the court case against any corrupt minister or a corrupt regime itself. And the citizen will actually pursue the government for doing 1, 2, 3, like what happened. This is a serious crime in the country. If there is a strong citizen, strong civil society, and a strong judiciary who is independent judiciary, then even the officers behind the scene will be arrested by the citizens themselves, will take them to the court of the law, and will actually be certain we're violating the country law. Smuggling of such valuable goods, valuable natural resources itself is you are trying to damage the country. You are trying actually to destroy the country. You are like somebody actually bombarding the country with a missile, trying to kill everybody on the ground. What is the national crimes? What is a national crimes? It is such a behavior when leaders of the country continue to actually illegally sell the goals, illegally mine the gold, illegally, trying to waste the millions of dollars, embezzlements of the millions of dollars out of the country bank, and trying to be the leaders of the citizen. This is a national crime that should be fought by national security. So our call is that a national security should not just should not be seeing that the citizens who are complaining today, fighting the regimes are the enemies. There are the serious enemies. The people you are protecting, they are the enemies of the country. How do we expect to have a good country? Where do you guys fight for? Where you guys carrying a gun? You cannot carry a gun and protect the thieves. You cannot carry a gun and protect the criminal. But you protect a citizen who is calling for the true governance, a citizen who is calling for a country that is supposed to be developed. So these are the citizens supposed to protect it. But these thieves, even if they got away to the government, they have immunity. They be called ministers and to be called whom? They deserve to be arrested by national security, because that national security law was meant to target such a corrupt individuals, such a corrupt companies. They need to be investigated to find out how did they enter the country. And this is how we are going to help and how the country will enjoy the national resource. If the national security should not interrogate such individuals, if the national security could enable to know who is in government and is not working based on the national constitution, the national security will never fight the country, will never protect the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dieng bigadim result to hinak there from Wow. And economists also said South Sudan should really work on diversifying its natural resources for economic stability. Now, this young nation is one of the most oil-dependent countries in the world, with oil accounting for almost the total exports and more than 40% of its gross domestic product. This is South Sudan we are talking about. Now, oil prices have reportedly dropped to the lowest since 1991, when the UN's launched invasion on Iraq after it invaded Kuwait. And the dropping we are talking about was 5 years ago. Also, here in South Sudan, the country is actually the third largest oil-producing country in Africa. But experts believe that 70% of the country remains unexplored. And this requires a strong laws and also regulatory system. Now, the country's gross domestic product per capita in 2014 was at $1.111, dropping to less than $200 in 2017. Now, outside oil, the oil sector, livelihoods are actually concentrated in low productive and paid agriculture and also pastoralist work. In addition to petroleum, South Sudan is believed to have significant mineral resources such as gold, copper, diamond, limestone, Nile River, forests, and wildlife, among many others. We'll leave it there for now. Let's go for this short break, and after that we'll be crossing to Ayod County of Jungle Estate.
Is conducting a commemoration of African Vaccination Week with rotavirus vaccine targeting all children aged between 6 to 10 weeks. Take your child to the nearest health center during the African Vaccination Week or the Big Catch Up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Nyandeng.
Good morning, Mama Mercy. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Mercy for rota vaccine at the health center to protect my child against rotavirus diarrhea in infants and children. She was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Mercy already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes, she needs to be vaccinated with at least 2 doses of Rota vaccine at 6 and 10 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized, and protected against rotavirus.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, rotavirus vaccines are effective in preventing diarrhea and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get diarrhea.
I didn't know that rotavirus is that serious, that it can even cause death.
Yes, rotavirus is a life-threatening disease caused by the virus. The signs are fever and vomiting, followed by watery diarrhea, and can cause abdominal pain and dehydration. Children who survive may be dehydrated, which can cause serious complications.
Dehydrated or serious complication? Oh, that sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with Rota vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for these vaccines? Hope it's not late.
No, you are not late. Rota vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all health facilities and designated health centers located in your areas. Tell all your neighbors with children between 6 to 10 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for Rota vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest vaccination site and protect them from rotavirus and vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO and UNICEF.
Right, and welcome back from the break. 30 minutes now to the top of the hour. You're still listening to the Dawn program. Now, let's read a few comments here on our Facebook. Munaisha Lily Tata is saying, good morning, iRadio. Mawen Martin is also saying, good morning. Philip Quote Majog is saying, good morning, Akile, and all the listeners of iRadio. Another message here on our Facebook from Attack Gang is saying, good morning. Revenues in South Sudan are not channeled to the budget. That is his concern there. Woon Beng is saying, good morning, iRadio, watching live from Nairobi. Another message from Abu Bakar Sifuna is saying, good morning, dear brother, watching from Dobli in Somalia. Now let's cross to Ayot County of Jungule State, where the coordinator has raised concerns over the operation or the occupation rather of schools by internally displaced persons or IDPs from PG and Old Fangak, which is preventing local children from accessing education. Now, Duot Nyon said the over 5,000 IDPs have occupied local schools for nearly 2 weeks, preventing children from attending classes. He also emphasized that the displaced population in Ayo town are facing severe humanitarian challenges, including lack of adequate shelter, food and medical assistance. Dot further pointed the continuous influx of internally displaced persons into the area. He noted that the county is still receiving new arrivals daily, adding to the existing humanitarian challenges there. Let's listen to what he had to say.
We have an issue in the ground because we have IDPs coming from Neo Pangak and PG County. The root cause of the displacement is clashes that were there in DL and POM, which is Neo Pangak. So the IDPs now are in Ayo town. So they are lucky they don't have mosquito net, water, and even food also. Their number is 5,279. They have 2 weeks now. They are still coming. Yes, because the clashes is jail. Is there food, but it's not enough to them because it is the authority who is distribute them for something to eat, but it's not enough. They are in the school, they are occupying the school. Even the children now, they are not going to school.
ده هناك منسق بتاع مقاطعة أيود بولاية جنجولة بيعرب عن مخاوفه إذا احتلال النازحين داخليا أو الاي دي بيز في من بيجي وبانغاك القديمة أو الأول بانغاك هم قاعدين في مدارس، وده بيمنع الأطفال عشان هم يتلقوا التعليم. وطبعا دوت جون قال إنه النازحين اللي هم أكثر من 5,000 هم احتلوا المدارس المحلية وده لفترة بتاع أسبوعين، وبيمنع منع الأطفال عشان هم يحضروا الفصول الدراسية. وأكد إنه النازحين برضو في أيود بيواجهوا تحديات إنسانية جسيمة بما فيه نقص بتاع المأوى أو الغذاء والمساعدات الطبية. وأشار دوث برضو إلى التدفق المستمر للنازحين داخليا في المنطقة، وقال إنه المقاطعة لسه بيستقبل وافدين جدد يوميا، وده بيزيد من التحديات الإنسانية القائمة هناك. رسالتك شنو للسلطات والجهات المختصة عشان نقدر ندع حد لنهاية بتاعت موضوع النازحين داخليا في جنوب السودان، وخاصة التعليم بتاع الأطفال من ناحية بتاعت المدارس، بدلا ما إنه النازحين يرجعوا لبيوت بتاعهم يعيدوا بناء حياتهم وموجودين في المدارس بتاع الأطفال، وده بيخلي العيال ما يقدر يمشوا للمدارس ويتلقوا التعليم. الحل شنو في الموضوع ده من وجهة نظر بتاعك؟ اتصل علينا على 11 أو 22 986 986 وده حيجيك طوالي في حيجيبنا طوالي في استديوهات راديو. صباح الخير. يس
معك سليمان من هيتراوة.
سليمان اتفضل.
والله طبعا أسف سؤال بتاعك أنت قلت الحل شنو عشان ندي حل حلول بتاع كيف إحنا بنعالج الموضوع بتاع نازحين داخليا. ما نازحين داخليا ده أكيد الحل الأول حاجة هو سلام كويس، لأنه تعرفوا نازل عشان كلام شنو؟ ما هو النازل عشان أمني ما كويس في مناطقهم، معناه أوتوماتيكالي كده بيجيبنا توالي لوجود بتاع سلام. لأنه لو كان سلام في زول ما في زول داري يمشي نازل في محل تزول تاني الآن كويس. فأنا بتمنى من السلطات ومن حكومة كده يحل السلام أول حاجة. لأن الناس شفت كده مدارس هم قاعد يمشي فيه ده معناه أتى التعليم بتاع أطفال بتاع منطقة ده زاده، وأتى التعليم بتاع مستقبل بتاع البلد ده، لأنه إحنا عارفين كويس عشان البلد ده يمشي لقدام دير تعليم، بدون تعليم ما في حاجة بيمشي. فمدنازين ده بدأ بكسرة يعني أصلا في جوبا هنا في نازحين، في ملكال في نازحين، في يامبيو يعني كله تقريبا في السودان كله في نازحين. فأنا بتمنى إنه كلنا كل عندنا رابطة وطنية ونخلي فروقات بتاعنا ده، فروقات السياسية، فروقات بتاع السلطة نخليه نشوف مصلحة بتحسب. حاجة تانية برضو أنا أقدر أتكلم بإنه يعني مشكلة بتاعنا هنا كتير يعني كده في جنوب السودان يعني كان حصل أي حاجة حتى لو ما حاجة كبير توالي ناس بنزهوا لأن الناس كافين نشوف لحياتهم. فالسؤال بتاعك دي كويس، لكن احنا محتاجين للناس اللي عندهم قلب بتاع الرحمة.
alright قلب بتاع رحمة. طبعا في النهاية ده بيرجع للسلام زي ما هو ذكر. التنفيذ الكامل لاتفاقية السلام المنشط ده هو هيؤدي لتحسن الأوضاع وبا برضو النازحين برام، لكن برضو حتى اللاجئين عشان هم يرجعوا لجنوب السودان، لأنه البلاد بيحتاج لكل الجنوبيين السودانيين عشان يقدر يعملوا التنمية وبناء الدولة وبناء الأمة. اتصل علينا راديو. يس راديو.
الو هاي.
يس
يا ماما ماريا.
ماما ماريا تفضلي.
هاي ثاني ايمانويل يعني إتك بلد تاكي يعني بلد تاكي دو تاكي يلا بيجا جدي إتك بلد تاكي يعني بلد تاكي ده إتا بعرف يا تجوجا كده يا تتجا كده إتك بلد تاكي وكلام مدرسة ده بجد يال دل كان ما علمو نسيا بفرما في ما بتاعت جنوب السودان ده هو يا جرا بس يلا إتك بلد تاكي كان مرتاح في بلد تاكي كان جانا جاتو دير سكول تويس ولا دير حاجات مدرسة تبسيلو كان galamaya تبرو تبيو أكل على تبجارة دي ها يتبوصلوا لإيال كمدرسة اللي تبيو تبودي لإيال كمدرسة بس أول حاجة إيال دي من ربنا ودي لناس إيال دي مسؤولية ودي وقت ربنا اللي هو واحد ما يتقال إتا دي إيال دي مسؤولية تاك إتا يا باين iyal der akulu iyal der numpe mahal kwes iyal der jirea iyal der ilaji iyal der iya haja alife ba mulule iyal la anu sunu asun kulman ma fakir kalama albatal yala de der ita kun fi betake magala ita fi beletake yala ita be kullaji kalam de ma be ja wujatu lajin kama na albarade na der tuli jibun lajinde asa ardi tan na kudi mahal tan na masha Allah wa akil fi gejara le na se de taab ina jede taab begin be taab be jan be ayan asa nas kullu indu marata ta geli ha nas kullu ayanin buru hasunu وكله نسيا مابي ده كله بني تعب على الجان يتجدني بجان لكن كان في بلد تكسر لك مدرة ده تبافرو بكم بيت باكل ما أسيدا بافرابي يتأكل بافرابي تنيجتو بامبي تنيجتو ده حاجة تجارة ما تجارة بحاجة دالي ده كتوفق غاسري بكون سنو ده حاجة تجارة إذا تك إندو بيتمن تمام ها ما بأيانا كان ما بسنو لكن ده كله بني كلام عليه ناس كله طلعوا ده كلا جاي كبلي تومن كلام ده ما صار raja wala zindi kelina karaja tibele tumu wali mahali tijua de wali kelari ja tibi tumu keli amni kutu amni keli kun awal haja fi junub sudan asan lagende kelirija asan nasun iyal tanna de imane
shukran leta mama ria risalتك وصل راديو هلو راديو نعم رجع تاني واتصل علينا نرفع مكالمتين قبل ما نمشي للفقرة الجاي بعد هنجي نمشي للجي بي في كود في العاصمة جوبا. لسه نواصل في موضوع بتاع أهمية التحسن الأوضاع لعودة النازحين وكمان دعم بتاع من الناحية بتاع المساعدات الإنسانية. راديو.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Yes, good morning.
This is Jinding.
Go ahead.
Emmanuel, we feel disappointed, each of IDPs. You know, these human beings who are now struggling, who are suffering, are South Sudanese. And no South Sudanese citizen now who is the cause of a situation of this country can imagine the level of suffering these people endure. These people we call IDPs, internally displaced. The people that we internally displaced, the people who are the cause of displacement will never and ever imagine the situation and the suffering of these human beings. And it's very bad for the country. So our call is that security will never be there when if we do not stop a tribalism that is baseless. So we have to stop this baseless tribalism of actually looking at another tribe as the cause of whatever you think that you don't have. A citizen must actually think that this country should, if there is anything that needs to be fought, should be fought politically, but we have to put down the gun. The politics is the only thing that can be done to change things that you want to change. So people are mature. People can use the politics to fight, but cannot use gun to fight. Go to the town, go to the cities, put on your suit and necktie, and start fighting, lobby for the position that you think is a problem of your suffering of your people. And you get that position, you go and give service to your people. If the position of governor or a county commissioner or even MP in the parliament is better, you use that influence, you go to your people, let them get you to the parliament, and you actually talk inside the parliament for the welfare of the people in your constituency. I think this is the only way that our people could go and settle in this own settlement, in these own areas. But if you continue carrying guns, they will remain in displacement camps who are not safe. So we are calling upon the government to look at this. We are calling upon the citizens who are actually fighting for the position. This is not the way we have to get it. We are calling upon our brothers and sisters inside the communities who are actually trying to raise the cows in order to go get married. This is not a solution. Our people have suffered enough. They have endured enough, and we need to make them feed the country. Until now, there's no services in the villages. People have no services, no hospital, no school, nothing. And we are almost 14 years independent nation. And communities are still struggling. No Peter Road at all. People who are in humanitarian services, as we are going to the village, we struggle, we come up with injuries and wounds just because there's no good road to pass. This is not good, and the country is already a grown country that's supposed to be actually give service to the people. But our selfishness is the issues. Self-centered is the issue. We are self-centered enough that I need to be a leader in order to take my children to abroad. I need to be a leader to corrupt. I need to be a leader to smuggle the national valuable resources. This is the thing that we are thinking of. But we are not thinking of the suffering of our people. How should you fight and your people are displaced? At the end of the day, you don't solve them. They will remain there. So it must stop, and this is a call. People must have eyes to see. People must have ears to listen, and people must see the suffering of the people. Otherwise, we are actually doing nothing in the country as a leader. Thank you.
All right, thank you David. ديانج دينج برضو بيضيف صوت هناك على راديو.
الو صباح الخير جوزيف أكيلي.
صباح النور.
تمام. أنا بسلم كل الجنوبيين من داخل وخارج جنوب السودان. إنه جوزيف أكيلي إنه المشكلة بتاعنا يا
معنا منو؟
معك يوانس
واصل.
لأنه قاعد تتكلم في نظام من الداخل كله تجارة لأنه
نعم واصل.
الحكومة بتاعنا لابد يعرف إنه الطال ده أو يال ده بتاعه لابد يعمل الحاجة كويس ليال المستقبليا لأن مستقبل الجنوب في شباب الصغار وكل الناس بقى أبواب ذات يقولوا إنه مستقبل له ينا بقى أقوليه كويس ولا ما شيء ولا ما شيء نفس الشيء بدول تمشي زيادة ما كويس بين كل شيء على يد الله هو بتاعه لأنه كل شيء نعمله الله فاهم أجر قاعد نعمله في الدنيا دي. وأنا بسلم كل المستمعين بتاع راديو وكل المستمعين بتاع جنوب السودان كله وكل أي راديو كله أنا بسلمهم اسم بتاعنا يسوع يعني.
آمين شكرا لك يوانس. راديو. هلو راديو. alright الشبكة هنا قاعد انقطع ده بيجيبنا لنهاية بتاع الفقرة ده نمشي لفاصل ومنه حنيجي نتكلم في موضوع بتاع الجي بي في كود.
iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Right, welcome back from the break. Now let's talk about UNDP with support from the Kingdom of the Netherlands officially handing over 2 newly renovated court holding rooms to the judiciary of South Sudan. The rooms are intended now to provide safer and more dignified facilities for detainees who are awaiting trial by the Gender-Based Violence and Juvenile Court. Now, the renovated holding rooms have a combined capacity of approximately 40 individuals and include separate spaces for male and female detainees. Now, UNDP Chief Technical Advisor and Program Manager Catherine Waliwala emphasized the importance of the new facilities in protecting survivors from further trauma. Let's listen to what Catherine had to say.
Before this building was put up, there was a lot of mixing of the inmates, male and female. Some of them were sitting outside in the rain, under the sun, and exposing the survivors to going through another process of trauma. So this is an important step for us that makes it possible for the judiciary to be able to carry out its process easily, but also to ensure that we uphold human rights. I think I would say that, but also to say very, very importantly that this would not have been possible without the support of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and we want to support them for continually supporting UNDP and access to justice in South Sudan. It takes about not less than 40 people. We are having different rooms for male and for female, which was not there before. So we are making sure that everybody has at least a chance, particularly for the women, to have access to their own rights, to live freely, but also to make sure that there's a sense of freedom and a better sitting place for all the inmates. Thank you. It will ensure that they have justice, because here we have them brought before the court. The court is able to carry out its process, ensure that all the accused are held, and the process can go as required. So the survivors will be able to get their justice, how the process goes and when the court does that is its business. So it ensures access to justice for the survivors and that they are able to have their cases addressed.
Right, and that was the Catherine, who's the UNDP Chief Technical Advisor and Program Manager, who said before the renovation, survivors, especially women, were exposed to the elements and also had to sit outside in the sun or rain. According to her, the handover is a major step toward ensuring respect for human rights, and providing a safe, dignified environment for all detainees, particularly women. Now let's also listen to the head of Court of Appeals for for Greater Equatoria, who's Justice Stephen Simon.
I'm happy to be with you this morning in the handing over of the renovated building of police in the GVV court. And I want to say this came about as a result of the support, financial support given by the Kingdom of Netherlands through UNDP. So I want to thank the Netherlands Kingdom and also UNDP for making this change. As the court police officer said, that they suffered a great deal when this renovation was not done. The renovation is actually have made 2 rooms for holding detention. Before that renovation, there was only 1 holding room where the remand were kept, females and males. So there was a difficulty to keep them together. So the females were kept outside somewhere because the police thinks that the female cannot run away, but the men, if they are not kept well, they will run away. So they were just kept somewhere and they remain. They don't escape. Now there are 2 rooms to keep the remands in. Females in 1 and the males in 1, which is a change. It is a change. Let us clap our hands for change. A change to the better situation. That is very good. And change always comes step by step, step by step. So we are recognizing that change which is brought about by the Kingdom of Netherlands and UNDP to the judiciary of South Sudan. In this regard, I want to thank you very much for that support which you have brought to us. This one has brought an end to the problem which was being faced by the court police. Regarding the trial of the cases in the GVV court and juvenile court, we actually started with 4 judges and we have increased the number now to 5 judges because we had another building there which was renovated also. So 1 judge is there, and we will continue to increase the number of judges in the GVV court whenever we have enough space. That is now one of the things which we are going. And with the new dawn in judiciary, I say, new Chief Justice has just been appointed, and he is one of the people who was brought up in judiciary from being a judicial assistant until he became the top man in the judiciary. But he knows in and out and what is judiciary. So we will expect a lot of changes because this is one of the people, him and his deputy, both of them, they work in Sudan, and they work in Sudan not just a work, but they were a part of administration of judiciary in Sudan. They were part of administration. So these are people who know what is administration, because administration is a science and art. You cannot just assign anybody and say he should be administrator. So administration is a core of success in anything if you know how to administer. So it is our wish that judiciary from now onward, there are big changes which will take place, and the judiciary have its position as an independent institution in South Sudan, because we have suffered a lot where the judiciary is not recognized by anybody, but thanks to the God who brought the change. With these few remarks, I want to say thank you very much. It's time now for work. We need to concentrate and understand what we are supposed to do and do it. Thank you very much.
Right, we heard there from Justice Stephen Simon, the head of the Court of Appeals for Greater Equatoria. Now, finally, let's listen to Pasqualina Angelo, County Court Judge.
I'm here as a juvenile judge in this building or this court. We are happy today for opening this building because so that what will help us On that, now we have a place for the remands, especially if there is a female or the male. Before we don't have, so we'll keep them with the police in one office, so that will be make things tough. He will change the situation so that when they brought the remands, if there is a female or there is a male, they will put it in the place waiting for the trial, so that when we are continue with our trial, they will kept here in the safe place, in the different place, so that they will go smoothly to their courtroom, and then we'll continue our work. This one just during the trial, during the day trial. So we will not keep them to be here at night. They will just brought it from the prison. We'll continue to process the trial. After that, we'll do what? Taking back to the prison.
And this is only for daytime.
Exactly. Here we have two types of process in this court. We have those we are dealing with the civil matter and the criminal one. This one is special for the criminal cases.
Sometimes we get confused, victims and survivors.
Yeah. So now in this building we have two rooms. Yeah. Here, this room is for just for the remands. If it's female or male, yeah, the accused person. Let me put it like that. And in that hall was prepared for what? For the survivors. The other one there. So now we separate the survivors from the what? Yes.
Pasqualina Angelo, the county court judge handling juvenile, and she was also speaking to journalists in Juba yesterday. Now, the GBV court, consisting of 2 high court judges, handled GBV cases, 3 county court judges, and it was established on December 3rd, 2020. Support from the UNDP and the Netherlands. Now, in 2024, the court registered about 94 cases, while in 2025, from January up to March, the court recorded about 78 GBV cases. Only 8 cases were resolved pending 70. نرفع مكالمة أو مكالمتين بكل اختصار في الموضوع ده. تقييمك شنو من زمن افتتاح بتاعة الجي بي في كود أو المحكمة اللي دائما بترعى القضايا بتاعة العنف القائم ضد النوع؟ اتصل علينا وقدم الرسالة بتاعك بكل اختصار على 11 أو 22 986 986 وده بيجيبك في استديوهات في آي راديو قبل ما نختم فقرتنا في صباح اليوم. طبعا اتولى محكمة بتاع العنف القائم على النوع الاجتماعي المكون من قاضيين من المحكمة العليا و3 قضاة من محكمة المقاطعات قضايا بتاع العنف القائم على النوع الاجتماعي، وطبعا تم إنشاؤه في شهر 12 سنة 2020 بدعم من برنامج الأمم المتحدة الإنمائي وكمان برضو من هولندا. آي راديو اتصل علينا تاني على نفس الرقم. في سنة 2024 سجل المحكمة حوالي 94 قضية، بينما في سنة 2025 من شهر 1 ل3 سجل المحكمة حوالي 78 قضية عنف قائمة على النوع الاجتماعي، لكن 8 بس من القضايا اللي تم حله، بينما لا تزال 70 عالق. آي راديو. نعم. اتصل علينا تاني. هلو راديو. يا راديو. فقدناك في الخط، سوري. اي راديو. نعم، يبدو هناك الشبكة قاعد ينقطع. ارجع تاني واتصل علينا على نفس الرقم 11 أو 22 986 986 وده بيجيبك في استريوهاتنا. هلو راديو.
Emmanuel, just good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is me, David from Wow.
Go ahead, David.
My brother, when we talk about the issue of GBB, all the courts are supposed to be established to the 10 states and 3 administrative areas because they become problem now. Number 2, those survivors plus the people who are in charge are supposed to be protected because sometimes they can be threatened until they just left the case without finishing it and because of fear. So we need, first of all, their prison is supposed to be done well. I mean the place where they are supposed to be put. And then number 2, those survivors should have to, the government should have to take care of them very well, especially those who are in charge. And then when we come to the GB level, there are survivors who are being threatened, sometimes by those who made the mistake. Maybe if it is a son of general or honorable or whatever,
the case of a survivor can sometimes die out in the process until it will not reach even the justice. So for those who are in charge, let them try to let the justice take place in the real sense. Thank you.
All right, thank you. iRadio. نعم، نرفع مكالمة ثانية قبل ما نختم ونمشي للأخبار باللغة العربية. الأرقام بتاعنا لسه فاتح. iRadio.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
You are talking to Evan Gang from Bor.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So what I can say about the GBB, it is awareness of government of South Sudan, Kulu. When they know, let them pass the norm of GBB, because there is early marriage and there is child marriage, there is raping cases. Those things, they need our government to participate, doing them fully, because everybody should know that there was some cases going very bad in the country about GBB. So when they are not passing the norm of that GBB cases, we could never achieve anything. And people will not understand very fast, because we are not doing nothing.
All right.
We are doing nothing about GBB.
Thank you.
Let our government open their eyes to participate fully, because they are now doing it.
All right.
The South Sudan is serving.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your view. عندنا رسالة هنا برضو من سبت باب بيقول إنشاء مرفق جديد داخل محكمة العنف ضد المرأة أو ضد النوع. أنا أعتقد خطوات ملموسة تجاه تحسين الأوضاع للنزلاء. معظم النزلاء غير صالح، أقصد من مباني قديم غير قادر في استيعاب عدد كبير. من هذا المنطلق نشكر منظمات بدعم مقدار، ويجب الاعتماد على أنفسنا. بعد تبديل قاضي مؤسسة محكمة العنف ضد النوع تراجع معظم القضايا، لأنه القاضي فرانسيس أموم كان مهتم جدا. Yes, let's leave it there for today. We've come to the end of the Dawn edition. Join us again tomorrow morning at the same time to get the latest on what's happening in South Sudan and beyond the borders. Up next, news in Arabic with Obaj Ugu Chaga. On behalf of the Dawn team, Paulina Athiei, Darlington Moses, Dico D. Andrew, and not forgetting producer Baria Johnson, this has been Emmanuel Joseph Akile. Do have a good day. Stay safe, stay blessed. We meet again tomorrow.
مباشر من جوبا على الهواء وعلى إنترنت.
ده آي راديو، عينك على جنوب السودان.
صباح الخير، أهلا ومرحبا بمستمعي آي راديو. ده زمن نشر أخبار وبنبدأ بالعناوين. قال حاكم ولاية جنجل انه قدم تنويل الرئيس الفاكر خطة لعقد مؤتمر سلام شامل بين مجتمعات المورلي ودينكابور والنوير خلال هذا الشهر في الولاية. أشاد حاكم ولاية على النيل جيمس كوانغ شول بعمل إسقاط الجوي الأخير للمساعدة الغذائية الإنسانية التي أوصلت إغاثة ضرورية للمجتمعات في المناطق المتأثرة بالنزاعات داخل الولاية. وأعلن مجلس كنائس جنوب السودان عن 70 يوما من الصلاة والصوم من أجل البلاد تبدأ في 10 يونيو وتستمر حتى 18 أغسطس 2025. إلى تفاصيل النشرة وفي تقديمه أوباج أوكوتشاغاوم. قال حاكم ولاية جنجلة إنه قدم تنويرا الرئيس الفاكر خطة لعقد مؤتمر سلام شامل بين مجتمعات المورلي ودينكابور والنوير خلال هذا الشهر في الولاية. وأوضح الدكتور ياغاي كوغ أن المؤتمر المزمع يهدف إلى تعزيز استقرار المصالحة في الولاية. وأبلغ الرئيس كير من الولاية تشهد حاليا حدوثا نسبيا، مشددا على أهمية الحوار والمصالحة كعنصرين أساسيين لتحقيق السلام والحفاظ عليه في المنطقة. وأشار أنهم تمكنوا من إيجاد حلول لبعض المشاكل المشتركة التي كانت تحدث بين القبائل من خلال مناقشة جذور المشكلة على مستوى القواعد الشعبية، وذلك عبر التواصل مع الشباب والنساء والزعماء التقليديين الذين أعربوا عن استعدادهم لتقبل رسائل السلام. وأكد الحاكم المؤتمر الشامل سيجمع على وجه التحديد قبائل المورلي والدينكابور والنوير لمناقشة سبل التعايش السلمي بشكل جماعي. وقال جاي كوغن الرئيس رحب بالمبادرة وعرب عن دعمه الكامل للنقاشات المخطط لها في هذا الشهر. أشاد حاكم ولاية على النيل جيمس كوانغ تشول بعمل الإسقاط الجوي الأخيرة للمساعدة الغذائية الإنسانية التي أوصلت إقاصة ضرورية إلى المجتمعات في المناطق المتأثرة بالنزاعات داخل الولاية. أدلى الحاكم شول بتصريحات خلال اجتماع مع الرئيس الفاكر في المكتب الرئاسي في وقت مبكر من هذا الأسبوع. وقال الحاكم شول المساعدة الإغاثية ساعدت السكان الذين اضطروا لمغادرة منازلهم بسبب العنف. ومن جانبه أشاد الرئيس الفاكر بجهود الحاكم شول في سد السلام بولاية على النيل بعد فترة من العنف الشديد، لا سيما في مناطق من مقاطعتين ناصر ومايوت ومقاطعة أولان، حيث اندرج اشتباكات بين جماعات ميليشية محلية والقوات الحكومية. وقد أدت تلك الاشتباكات إلى نزوح واسع النطاق للسكان المدنيين، حيث لجأ كثيرين إلى المناطق المجاورة وحتى إلى إثيوبيا. وفي استجابة للأزمة الإنسانية أطلق الرئيس كير عمل إسقاط المساعدات الغذائية جوا للنازحين. وأكد الرئيس كير دارتو ستواصل مراقبة الأوضاع عن كسب في ولاية على النيل، كما تعهد بمواصلة دعم المبادرات التي تركز على ترسيخ السلام وتعزيز الأمن الغذائي ودفع عجلة التنمية في الولاية. ومن جانبه طمن الحاكم شول الرئيس كير بأن المدنيين والجيش يعيشون الآن في سلام ووئام. وأكد الحاكم أن التزام حكومة الولاية بتحقيق السلام الدائم والوحدة في جميع أنحاء الولاية. وقبل الأخبار الإقليمية والعالمية، أعلن مجلس كنائس جنوب السودان عن 70 يوما من الصلاة والصوم من أجل البلاد تبدأ في 10 يونيو وتستمر حتى 18 أغسطس 2025. وتأتي المبادرة الروحية في ذكرى مرور 70 سنة على اندلاع أول حرف توريد يوم 18 أغسطس 1955. وبحسب مجلس الكنائس فهذه الحملة تحمل شعار حقق وعودك الصالحة يا رب، أرميا 10-29 إلى 11-29، وتحدث إلى توجيه البلاد نحو السلام والتنمية والازدهار. وجاء في بيان نشر برزاد آي راديو إن مجلس الكنائس بالتعاون مع الشركاء مثل شفاعة من أجل جنوب السودان وشبكة الصلاة من أجل جنوب السودان وتجديد جنوب السودان بالمسيح دعوا جميع المسيحيين في البلاد المشاركة في الصلاة والصوم. كما دعا البيان المواطنين الالتزام بالصلاة والصوم خلال الفترة من 10 يونيو حتى 18 أغسطس من أجل أن تتغلب جنوب السودان على التحديات التي تواجهها وتسير نحو التقدم والازدهار. وحث المجلس الناس على الصلاة في بيوتهم وكنائسهم وفي كل فرصة ومكان ممكن. كما أوصى بالتركيز في الصلاة على 7 مجالات مهمة في المجتمع، وهي الأسرة والكنيسة والحكم والاقتصاد والتعليم والإعلام بما يشمل الفنون والترفيه والصحة. وفي الأخبار الإقليمية والعالمية، في كينيا كشف تشريح الجثة أن مدونا كينيا توفى أثناء احتجازه لدى الشرطة وقد تعرض لضربة في الرأس، من المرجح أن وفاته كانت نتيجة اعتداء. وهذا يناقض ما قالته الشرطة بأنه ألبرت أوجوانغ أصيب في رأسه بعد أن ضرب رأسه بجدارة الزنزانة. وقد أثارت وفاته غضبا واسعا في كينيا، حيث طالبت منظمات حقوقية بمحاسبة الشرطة. وكان أوجوانغ قد يحتجز بعد شكوى قدمها نائب قائد الشرطة اتهم فيه بتشويه سمعته على وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي. وفي جنوب أفريقيا جرفت الفيضانات حافلة صغيرة كانت تغيل تلاميذ مدارس بحسب ما قالوا متحدث باسم حكومة مقاطعة كيبا الشرقية لحيث الإذاعة البريطانية BBC. وقال قوسيلو رانجي إنه عدد الأطفال الذين كانوا من الحافلة غير معروف، لكن تم الوصول إلى 3 أحياء حتى الآن. وأضاف أنه عمليات الإنقاذ توقفت بسبب حلول الظلام وستستأنف اليوم الأربعاء. وفي حادث منفصل تم الوصول إلى 7 أشخاص جرفتهم مياه الفيضانات في منطقة وآراتامبو في نفس المقاطعة. وتتعرض جنوب أفريقيا لعواصف شديدة تشمل تساقط الثلوج الغزيرة وأمطار ورياح قوية أسفرت عن وفاة 5 أشخاص آخرين في حادث مروري وقطع الكهرباء عن ما يقارب من 500 ألف منزل. وبالخبر ده مستمع آي راديو انتهى نشرة الأخبار، ولكن برجع وبذكر بأبرز ما جاء في المقدمة. قال حكيم ولاية جنجل إنه قدم تنوير للرئيس الفاكر خطة لعقد مؤتمر سلام شامل المجتمعات المورلي والدينكابور والنوير خلال هذا الشهر في الولاية. أشاد حاكم ولاية على النيل جيمس كوانغ شول بعملية إسقاط الجوي الأخيرة للمساعدة الغذائية الإنسانية التي أوصلت الإغاثة الضرورية للمناطق المتأثرة بالنزاعات داخل الولاية. وأعلن مجلس كنائس جنوب السودان عن 70 يوما من الصلاة والصوم من أجل البلاد تبدأ في 10 يونيو وتستمر حتى 18 أغسطس في 2025. إلى حين مستمع آي راديو انتهى نشرة الأخبار. لو عندك أي خبر أو مناسبة وأنت تدلوح وتغطية ممكن ترسل لنا رسالة نصية رقم التالي 0925 287 870 وده نفس الرقم للواتساب. أنت أيضا ممكن تتابعنا على منصة إكس آي راديو جوبا كلمة واحدة أو زيارة موقعنا على الإنترنت www.iradio.org لتستمع الأخبار باللغة العربية والإنجليزية. ممكن تشارك أيضا في قناة آي راديو اليوتيوب آي راديو ساوث سودان. نيابة عن غرفة الأخبار والفريق الفني كنت معكم في تقديم النشرة أوباج أوكو الشقاو، وواصل استماع لآي راديو أين كان جنوب السودان. إلى اللقاء.